Look at
Look at
this.
all these cracks.
This is what they wanted to spend thousands of dollars ripping
Not good,
out.
right? So you're gonna see how I'm gonna tile.
Homeowner
Plus this
called
floor
contractors and they said it needed to be ripped out
is bad.
and started all over. I said, don't touch it. 40 years in the tile trade. I love what I do, and I knew exactly what to do. We did not tear out one single piece of that slab, not one piece.
That's one of many.
Watch what we did. Flexbond, 2 coats, deck mud, 20 gauge self-furring wire embedded in it, then floated it dead flat. Red guarded crack isolation with seam tapes for full waterproofing. Then we tiled right over the top of the whole thing. Waterproof, crack isolation, leveled, beautiful. The whole basement, the one they wanted to destroy. I'm going to show you every single step of how I did this. Same method pros would charge thousands for if they knew how to do it. This one's going to save you some serious money. Let's go.
How I'm gonna tile. Plus this floor is pretty.
See these cracks right here? We're going to deal with them. Concrete moves, shifts, and contracts, and without a system under your tile, it will crack every time. I'm burning this flex bond into the concrete like a primer. Plus there's groundwater seeping up through the slab. That's why every contractor said tear it out, because if you tile over a wet slab without waterproofing it, you're going to have a disaster in 6 months. Then there is the humps and bumps that will cause lippage everywhere. So we've got 3 problems. Number 1, cracks. Number 2, water infiltration. Number 3, uneven and out of level. 3 problems, 1 system. Let me show you.
Then I'm gonna drop my deck mud on here just to cover it all up so the stuff don't dry out. I'm using a 1/4 inch by 3/8 notch trowel because I really want to saturate this and get a lot of the Flexbond property as far as movement in the slab.
Now the deck mud. We mix it right, not too wet, not too dry. If you squeeze it in your hand, it should hold its shape. I love this part because this is where you're actually saving the slab right here. I get to make this slab absolutely perfect. No humps, no bumps, and to make it completely level. That's why I love this part. Plus it saves your slab for decades. We're laying a 20 gauge self-furring wire right over the Flexbond and deck mud. Cut it to fit the space. You want good coverage across the whole floor. This wire is self-furring, meaning it's got little dimples in it that it's slightly off the surface. That lets the mud get underneath and grab it properly.
So I got a high point right there in this slab. I made my 2 mud screeds. I'm gonna stick some 1/4 inch sticks on there.
Now watch this. This is where the magic happens. We're going to float this floor flat. We're filling in the low spots and going over the high spots, building up the floor to consistent level across the whole surface. See this right here? This section was almost 3/4 of an inch low. Nobody's tiling on that. We built it up slowly, methodically, checking with the level. This is craftsmanship. This is what 40 years gets you. Knowing when it's right. Boom! Flat. Dead flat. That is what I'm talking about. Let this cure overnight before we go to the next step. Don't rush your cure time. Patience is free.
Phase 5, putting RedGard uncoupling membrane down or mat, and we're gonna put these Viper proof insulation or waterproof. So I got these, I'm using VersaBond thin set as a you can use modified on this with Ditra or Kirby, it's all unmodified. With this stuff, guess what? It's all modified, and that's what I like. Modified sticks a lot better. But we're gonna roll these up, and I'll show you a little trick. As you roll these up, you roll it this way and that way. You see that little mark? So when you re-roll these, you know exactly where to put them in. And you'll see as we're doing it, I'll show you right now. So when I pull them up and I spared all that thin set, I'll be able to put it right on that mark right there. And I won't have to mess around with it, and then I just roll it out and be perfect. Go ahead. See that consistency you want when spreading thin set? It should pour out of the bucket and it's slowly oozing, but you don't want to lose your lines over it. This is how you spread it correctly. Just comb it out.
Make sure this is completely combed out. You'll notice a little blob there. You want no blobs, perfectly combed out. So when you place this membrane on top, and you notice we're lining it up with those lines I talked about. It makes it so simple to do this, because once it goes in the thin set, it's a pain to roll it back up if you don't do it correctly. And then what you want to do is roll up one side, spread the thin set, roll it over the thin set, and then you roll up the other side and put the thin set down. That way you keep it nice and clean. And you see I'm using my feet to kind of smooth it down, getting it all in. And what's important is once you roll this membrane out, you don't want any bubbles underneath it. So use something flat with a handle. My son's using a wood float. You can actually use a rolling pin to roll out this mat and get out the bubbles so it totally adheres to the thin set below, because you don't want any hollows. You want it totally bonded to the floor. That's how the system works. So anything flat with a handle. You can even use vinyl rollers, what they roll on vinyl. Take your tape, press it right over the seam. Flat, smooth, no bubbles. Work it in with your fingers or a flat trowel, as you see my son doing. This tape combined with the RedGard creates a flexible membrane that can move independently of the concrete below it. The concrete can keep doing what the concrete does, shift and crack all it wants. And your tile on top stays perfect. This is a fully waterproof now, fully crack isolated. The basement floor that was taking on water, it cannot touch your tile, not one drop. This right here is why we don't need to tear the slab out. This system is that good. And this next step is what I like to do. You don't have to do it, it's not recommended, but it's what I like to do. As we put the tape the seams up, and this is kind of like when you do backer board or cement board and you put fiberglass tape down. Exactly the same thing you're doing. You're flattening these tapes as flat as you can get them. But I like to fill in the whole top of the mat with thin set. So when I come back the next day, it's a better surface to go off. Personally, that's what I like to do. It just makes it a little bit easier setting the tile. Because these, for me, it just bonds a little bit better. You don't have to have that much thin set to fill up all this as you're setting the tile. So that's what I recommend doing. It works out pretty good for me. And as you see, this whole floor we let sit 24 hours before we go back the next day.
These are keys, 1/8 inch. I got my door jamb cutter, that jamb over there, and this is the notch trowel I'm going to use. And I'll be using gray Versabond on this floor. This is wood-like plank flooring. So what I like to do is go around and check my floor, check me out. I'll go around and see what kind of humps I got. So I got a long 8-foot aluminum straight edge right there. So pretty flat. Oh yeah. Oh, no humps. The most important thing about your first row, make sure it's straight and flat. That's why you got a long edge. Make sure it's flat. If not, you're going to get toe catchers, especially with plank flooring. That is the number one thing to do, is make sure that first row is straight and flat. And if you have that, you got nothing. It'll go so easy like this floor. Let's get going.
Now here's the key. If you're flat this way and you're flat this way, you create a true plane. At that point, the floor almost sets itself. You can keep moving across the room with confidence because everything is riding off a square, flat foundation. We set the tile with no voids and no hollow spots. That's why you see me lifting up the tile and putting more thin set when the tile is low. If the tile is too high, I remove what's causing the tile to be high. You want no lippage. Set it, press it, check it every tile. This is not a race. The homeowner is going to look at this floor every time he comes down into the basement for the next 20 years. Do it right. Installing tile feels right when it's flat and has enough thin set underneath it. Keep going across the whole floor. Check your level constantly. We work too hard to get this floor flat and without lippage.
Good. Last piece. Oh yeah. Right on. And all you people out there, if you want to sit on fresh tile, just put some boards down. And you can set the rest of this floor on fresh tile.
Make sure you mix your grout to the right consistency and wait 5 minutes and remix. Use your grout float at a 45-degree angle. Fill in all your joints with an S motion back and forth. Now wipe and make your joints even with your sponge. Use clean water, light pressure. You're not scrubbing, you're cleaning. Go diagonally across the tile. Drag, flip, drag, rinse your sponge. Drag, flip, drag, rinse your sponge. Repeat this process until you're done. And make sure when you go to grout, that grout is set up enough like the touch of an apple.
Done. 10 minutes.
If this video has helped you save some money and gave you some confidence, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not already. I got 40 years of these tricks and I'm putting every one of them on this channel. And all the steps will be listed in the description below. Grout Like a Pro is my PDF of 40 years of grouting. I have detailed how to grout in this PDF. Plus, I linked it to my YouTube videos on how to grout. So get it today. The link is below. And thank you so much for watching my videos.